97381 or stop by any of our branch locations today. Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank with offices in Norwich, Jewett City, and Plainfield. Member FDIC. Do you, Kasasa?
You see the signs everywhere. No alcohol if under 21. No tobacco under 21. No vaping supplies under 21. It's 21 for a reason.
Youth that use alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors, such as gambling. Learn the warning signs and how to talk to your children about addiction.
It's 21 for a reason. Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. Find out more at CIRACCT.org.
Did you know that most unintentional injuries, related deaths occur off the job? And even often when least expected, during a vacation, while doing chores at home, or even while driving around. According to Injury Facts, over 167,000 people died from unintentional injuries related to deaths in 2018. The National Safety Council encourages everyone to be aware of hazards related to leisure recreational activities, so please take proper safety precautions. The following has been brought to you by Griswold Health and Safety.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Don't change anything. I love your show just the way it is.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning. And 80s all day and night. Your community radio.
SNSN.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
So, a little twist, if you will. Paul Lash has been fired.
This is what he looked like if he shaves.
No, Paul's on assignment. Paul Lash is on assignment. That's what I don't know why, but I've always said that. It's like, it's true. If somebody's not here, they're on assignment. I don't know what assignment they're on, but
homework.
Homework. You ever watch like the news and stuff like that? I'm so and so. Judy Jones is on assignment. So I figured, so every time somebody fills in for somebody, I figure, all right, so they're on assignment. So Paul's on assignment. And your co-host today, Rich Wasilek, Paul Lash is on assignment. It is really hot in here.
It is warm.
What the hell? I don't ever touch the thermostat. The only time I turned it up was like in February. I turned it up to like 68. Yeah,
it's 8 degrees warmer than our house we set it at. So
yeah. Well, no, but it was so cold. There was such a cold snap this February that it was just burning through oil, and I was chastised.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Well, the energy cost is going way up. Yeah. The temperature is going way down.
It is warm though.
And oil is about $1.20 more a gallon than it was last year back then. Oh God! So come on, Shayna, the illest. She's the illest.
The illest.
Yeah. Just want to make that clear.
Nice.
She said, Paul on assignment in Glasgow or Norwich. Why? What do you know? What do you know about Paul's assignment? And I guess she didn't want to talk about that because she says, no, well, everybody's complaining about the temps. It's too hot.
Good.
It's like there's no seasons here in Connecticut anymore. You notice that? It's either
it's
really
one or the
cold
other.
Or it's really hot.
Was it the day before yesterday? I was kind of comfortable. It was
bipolar weather. It really it was really, really cold. I mean, just last week it was damp and cold.
Yeah, I think it was more damp. Yeah,
and it felt like an October day in the middle of May.
Yeah,
it's like, really.
Then yesterday I was sweating.
Yeah, I got some stuff done then.
We had our yard work done the day before.
Laura, let's see. Well, first, the illest says straight to heat wave.
Yep.
You know what, Shani, you're right. Laura says, I'll never complain about the heat. I loathe
Low, that's a strong
whoa,
word.
Whoa, whoa, in caps.
Ooh.
In caps. No less.
Mm.
The cold weather. She hates it.
Really?
And oh, by the way, she says, good morning and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It's like we got flipped off. It's like, oh yeah, good morning, by the way. Shana goes, Mother Nature in menopause, I guess.
True.
It's something because it's
global warming.
Global cooling. Where's Dan Quayle when you need him? God. So I don't know. It's just been really weird.
Yeah.
It's been very, very weird. So
that's just following the rest of society today.
I remember growing up, and I always knew that when the temperature hit 60, and it would be like clockwork right around March. You know, clockwork, would be like 60 degrees, like around March 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
10th.
Like Easter.
Yeah. Well, before, a few weeks before Easter. And next thing you know, it doesn't happen that way anymore. So the weather patterns have definitely changed over the last 30 years. I think
actually seasons seem to be pushing later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I remember, oh yeah, it's springtime now. Yeah. And I was very conscious of that, and knew that every year that was going to happen. What's temp? 61 degrees, Michael. Oh, great. All right. It's springtime. It was just past my birthday. And I'm like, because that was like the gateway to spring, my birthday, which is February 25th. So it's like, just wanted to drop that to make sure you knew.
Now it seems to be having blizzards in Easter. Now we seem to be having blizzards in Easter. It's kind of everything pushed back.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So it's just colder and colder and colder. Karen, good morning. Karen Del Monte says hello.
Morning.
Shane, this is I'm with you, Laura. And the global LOL. I hate that word. So anyway, did you get? I got to open this window or something.
Be my guest, please.
It is just. It's gonna get noisy in here.
That's all right. I'll tell you. I'll deal with that.
Get out of there. Come on, son of a.
They nailed that one shut, probably. Yeah.
Huh?
They nailed that one shut, probably.
I think so. It won't go. Ah.
You push on the window, maybe that'll. Is it locked?
I don't know. Maybe. Yes.
There you go.
Hey, look at that. We'll get a little bit of breeze in here for crying out
A little bit of
loud.
ventilation going.
Yeah, it's so because we're right on Main Street, so we may get a little
some
noise.
breaks.
That's all right, because I like the sound effects from Main Street, because it proves where we really are.
Stepping on the gas.
Exactly. You can, if you want to chug those open too.
Chugger.
It's like 80 degrees in here. I'm being laughed at because the windows were locked. Yeah, I was like, oh, look at that. Thank you, Rich, by the way, for helping me with that. Good morning, Victoria. Hey, anybody watch the the blood moon eclipse last night? See, look, you're having a hard time too. Windows 101. We both flunked.
That's what seems to have to.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, Rich is in for Paul today. Oh, he just wrecked the frame.
I do have a habit of breaking stuff. So
it's going to sound like we're on the freeway.
Sweet.
Because that's what Main Street Jewett City is like. It's not even funny because that's exactly what happens.
Like you feel the air moving already. You feel the air moving already.
Yeah, I feel the air move. All right, start with the bad jokes. So did you see the eclipse last night?
No, I went to bed.
Okay.
Yeah. I only had 3 hours sleep before the class yesterday. So.
Oh, look, here they come.
Yeah.
They're doing about 60 down Main Street, Jewett City. Will they get a speeding ticket? Nope. Nope. Victoria said, I did. So cool. Sat on the deck listening to the 80s, watching the moon.
Sweet.
So
it was pretty cool.
So Victoria, when you say you were sitting watching the 80s, you
watching
watching. You're talking about my TikTok show, I'm assuming. I love my little TikTok show.
Were you doing it in front of the moon yesterday?
No, I was inside, but I did go out and live stream it for a minute, so which was
that's fun.
Yeah. Which I shouldn't have done it because it looks stupid, what I was doing. But it was cool. I only watched it for a little bit. But we talked about it last night on my TikTok show. So,
okay.
So for those of you that don't know, if you have TikTok, we do a show not just in the morning here, but we do it at night. Usually starts at about 10 o'clock or so Eastern time. And the account is called we_love_the_80s. We love the 80s. And it's all 80s music, and we goof off. And boy, we have people from all over the world.
Sweet.
That jump in,
really?
And yeah. And I have to say it. There are more people that watch my TikTok show than pay attention to SNSN.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like watching you
kind of
dance.
like, if I had to make a choice.
Like watching you dance around in your glasses and stuff.
I don't dance around. I just sit there kind of, because I like the music. I'm bopping to the music and stuff. But it's basically a radio show, with sound effects and stuff like that on TikTok.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So if you have a TikTok account, join me. It's fun. Victoria's in there.
She hangs out in there?
Yeah. Some of them are a little sketchy. Like, sketchy how? Like the songs are sketchy or the people are sketchy? There's one guy that comes into the room. His name is, ready? Dookie.
Dookie.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
He's got no profile picture. Well, he does, but it's some sort of, I think it's like a Muppet. I don't know. And I don't know what his name is. Never asked him. But he is a state trooper in another state. But he says too much,
really?
To think. No. So he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but he's funny.
Really?
He's really, really funny. When he comes in, Dave Polino, who just popped in right now, he's in there. So, Dave knows. Long live Dookie.
Really?
he's a riot.
He's a comedian.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. He says some stuff. He's very quick, and sometimes he'll tell us that he is listening to the show while hiding behind an exit sign. One time he goes, "Oh man, somebody just blew me off doing 120." He goes, "No way, am I chasing that?"
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So,
like
I said, I don't know his name. I don't like that.
Probably see his car with the strobe lights inside the car from your show.
He said last night he was playing our show over the PA. Oh my God. But then again, like I said, he's in one of those positions that you don't want to broadcast your name.
No.
Or anything like that.
No.
So because
I have other cops on my Facebook and other stuff.
Sure,
they put fake names on there, and a lot of them. Yeah.
You have to.
Teachers too. They do the same thing.
Yeah. So Victoria's in there. Dave Polino's in there. We got a lot of great. There's another guy named Kevin who's a corrections officer in another state, and yeah, it's just it's a good time.
He played the music for the prisoners.
No, I don't think so. No, but he's listening to us and partaking in the show while he's at work.
Yeah.
So he's a death row CO.
Oh
yeah,
I played in the music then.
Huh?
I played in the music. That's the last they're gonna hear.
Pretty much. But we have some very professional people that are in there. Oh,
there you go.
Told you.
Sweet.
Yeah, because it's just too hot in here, so you have to have the windows open. Like Dave Polino right there that you see in there. He works for Special Olympics.
Like full-time Special Olympics?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What Laura says, the one guy that says how much your TikTok sucks, but he's there all the time. Oh, I know. There's this one guy who he's kind of stopped now, but he makes fun of me and he actually told me to get off of TikTok. Oh yeah, you look at his videos and he looks like he's like on meth, and it's like
too vibrant for him.
That's his whole TikTok right
Really?
there. Yeah. Ugh. But anyway, we love the 80s on TikTok. It's fun.
Sweet.
We have a good time. Dave says, yeah, it's just a troll. Oh, he didn't get me worked up. I think he's funny, but I like batting at him, and just Then of course they'll go, well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and complain to TikTok, and you'll just get banned. See what you did right there? And I'm like, screw you, asshole. I don't care.
Ban me.
TikTok. All right. So we have done a lot of yipping and yapping about everything except for what we really came on to talk about. Rich is normally here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, but Paul is couldn't come in today, so Rich is here.
Spur of the moment.
Yep, very spur of the moment. What I text you at 7:30?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, 7:30. Hey, can you come in and play radio today? Yeah. All right. So here you go. So one of the things that happened in the town of Griswold yesterday was a class. It was a free training put on by a board that you and I are both on, Griswold Public Health and Safety. And it was, it's the second one. I mean, the first one was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which was about CPR and
First aid,
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Narcan, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now yesterday was a very, I think that it's very
sobering.
I guess. Yeah, because the things like you've told
First
me.
word that popped in my head. Yeah.
I mean, the things that you've told me, about how this works and how people do human trafficking. It's I never would have guessed it at all. So, and by the way, before we continue on with anything at all, I want to tell Rich congratulations for winning Firefighter of the Year.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
So is that from the Jewett City Fire Department or is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Firefighter of the Year. Congratulations. And, but you do a lot in this town now, between doing that and education and you're on planning and zoning and public health and safety. So you're really taking,
I can.
I think we all do, we try, we try. So I commend you for that.
Thanks.
Victoria said it looked like you had a good turnout, which is great. You had about 20?
I think so. I didn't really, wasn't like first aid CPR where I counted because you had got certified or whatever. So it was more of an awareness, but it was about give or take 20.
So Victoria said, looked like you guys had a good turnout. Shayna says she's the illest, just so you know.
The illest. Okay.
The illest. Yeah, not the illest. The illest. Yeah. Wishes you congratulations, as does Victoria.
Oh, thank you. For
winning or getting awarded Fireman of the Year. So let's talk about the human trafficking. Yeah. So how do you even start a class talking about something? Well, let me go one step before that. Do you feel that people are kind of flip about it? Meaning they don't, it's like, it's whatever. It's not going to happen to me. Not going to happen to my family. We're in a small town. It doesn't matter. So
right. Yes. And it was eye-opening for a lot of the people yesterday. And they ended up saying the same thing. Like, we didn't realize this was actually taking place this way. Didn't realize it was such a problem. Yeah. And like Todd was in the class with Babbitt, Tina and a couple of them. And there was one other lady that actually had a personal experience by somebody they knew that was trafficked. Yeah. And they are actually from the town.
So what does it mean to be trafficked?
So a lot of people picture trafficking as, what you see on TV, where you're being brought to different locations around the country, the world. You see it on movies, being brought to Romania or something, like one of those movies.
Yeah.
And that's not 100% what the definition of trafficking is. It's basically you're being exploited for either labor or sexual acts, so someone can make money off of it or get something out of it.
I think a lot of people think maybe that, and this is just my estimate, my guesstimation is that a lot of people think that human trafficking is a lot like the movie Taken.
Exactly.
With Liam Neeson. Yep. I will find you. I have a special set of skills. I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah. And that's exactly what's one part of it is.
Mhm.
That does
That's
happen.
just a part of
That's
it.
only a part of it. Small, and it's actually a small. And like we brought up yesterday, one of the things that is taking place in some parties of high school kids or other females or males would have to perform sexual act on somebody in order for admittance into the party. So that's in form of trafficking.
No wonder I'm never invited.
Yeah. Doesn't happen all the time, but that's one thing that can happen, and it's been known to happen. There's also taking pictures of kids and sending them, or being paid to have them taken, or
That's
telling.
evil.
Yeah. So that's another form of trafficking, and it's becoming a very huge industry to the point where we were telling them yesterday, gangs are actually using that as a form of income higher than drugs and weapons in some cases.
Trafficking.
Yeah. There was a case in Texas recently where a young girl was kidnapped when she went to the bathroom at a football game or a baseball game, one of those. And she was found in Oklahoma 2 months later, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And she was found by a private organization. There was a bunch of them growing out there where they're actually looking for kids or even adults that are taken in.
It's not just kids, is it?
No. People that are addicted to drugs. They're trafficked because they're getting their drugs for sexual acts by traffickers. So, and they're being sold, and some of them have to meet quotas, or they get, beaten, disciplined for not making their quota for the night. So it's a very big problem, and it's becoming a lot younger, to the point where it's like junior high age level kids, or worse, even elementary school. So. Yeah, and it's even by not just strangers. It could be family that are doing it. There was a case in Connecticut where a father was trafficking his own son up and down the East Coast to make money, and
basically pimping his kid out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting a street term, I guess.
That's exactly what it was, yeah. So the class that we had,
I can't even imagine that.
So the class we had was giving people ways to recognize, number one, how to prevent it for them themselves becoming victims. Big use of solicitation is social media. So especially the kids that were in the class yesterday, some of them had an eye awakening experience to hear, and how they're, actually already being solicited and not even realizing it. Yeah. So it's one of the big ones for females. Or you want to be a model? You want to be a model? Respond to my message. Mm-hmm. And we'll get you into modeling. And that's a huge way that they get young girls into trafficking.
Do they even, is it even part of those where you want to get into modeling or whatever, and they say bring a parent, and then they call you back?
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually...
Well, they'll say, hey, come meet us, and then they'll meet up with the child, either with a parent first, and then what happens later on? Oh, I'm going to drop you off, or this or that. And then they have you do favors, or they get you hooked on drugs. Oh, you need to relax here. Take this. Help you relax for the photo shoot. And then they get you addicted to drugs. And it's called a grooming. So they groom you into becoming relying on them, developing a personal relationship. And then eventually it gets down into sexual acts. And then now you got to make the money. You got to pay us for your modeling. So if you do this will be your form of payment. And it goes down and down, down, down.
So it's a lot of things that just seem like normal society that people are getting trafficked through.
Yeah.
So what other forms, like for example, what about signs on the side of the road?
Yeah, some of those you call a number to get what you want.
No, they're what, advertising what, like jobs, $300 a week, no experience necessary, kind of thing.
Could be jobs. It could be even some mortgage. We see mortgage signs all over the place. Who is to say those are real people that are selling mortgages? Mm-hmm. One of the ways that they find you is by finding what you need. And one of the videos we showed yesterday, and the woman was explaining, you show me what you need, and I'll show you where you're vulnerable.
Yeah. What
are you dying to have? What will make your life happier, you think? And that's where you're going to be vulnerable. And they're going to take advantage of that. So
we and I don't know, but it was kind of sketchy. And I'm going to tell you one thing that happened in our family with my my youngest daughter, and I don't know if. Well, anyway, she saw an ad on Facebook for a kitten.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
telling us about it. Yeah,
and they were selling the kittens for like $350 or whatever, and they were this wasn't a Himalayan or anything, but it was a really. I can't remember the type of cat it was, but anyway, my daughter called it, or there was a number that was attached to it. And one thing that I found out, if it's attached to a Google phone number, it's for something like this, it's probably not on the up and up.
Right.
So she calls it and talks to this guy, and then she calls me and says, Dad, I can have this cat. I can get this cat, and he's going to give it to me for only $100. And he said I can have the cat today. I went, oh, okay. So why don't you give me the phone number? Let me call the guy, because now I'm really suspicious, right? And she goes, all right, well, but Dad, don't tell him that I'm your daughter. I want you to act like you're my boyfriend. I'm like, no, I will never act like I'm your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry. I said, but I need to call this person. So I called this guy, and he had some sort of an accent. Now, I'm not picking on people with accents, for all you people that are sitting there going, oh, you're just making fun of people. No.
Canceled. Yeah.
No, exactly. But you could tell it wasn't around here.
It was adding on top of the warning signs.
Yeah. So then I said, so where are you? He goes, oh, she told me that, she wanted the cat. I just wanted to help her out. And I'm like, oh yeah, where are you? Pennsylvania. Oh. With a Colorado phone number. Oh. Okay. And I didn't really say much about that. Well, it turned out this guy already had her address.
Yep.
Already had her address. And he goes, well, I said, how are you going to get her a cat today from Pennsylvania, from a Colorado phone number, to bring one to where she is? He goes, well, isn't this her boyfriend? No, this is her father. Oh.
Nope.
Yeah. And there really wasn't much more conversation. I told him, I said, don't ever call again. I said, do you understand me? And I was like, don't ever do it. I said, stay. And I went the away.
That's one of the ways they do it. They suck you in that way.
So here's another thing, and this is another scenario. And I want you to tell me if you think this is, anything could be possible, of a form of human trafficking.
Yeah.
So Melissa owns a house that she's trying to sell, right? And every so often she gets calls from people, saying, I'll pay you cash for this house or whatever. So anyway, this one guy somehow gets, because it's public record, and gets the phone number and stuff like that. And, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm interested in buying cash for your house. Buying cash. Buying cash for your house.
Yeah.
Just like that, right? Not even grammatically correct.
Yeah.
So, I said, well, do you want to talk to this guy? Because she just wants to unload it. So I said, why don't you give me the number? I'll call. Well, anyway, the guy's like, oh, well, I said, why don't you call me back? He goes, no, you should call me back. I said, no. I said, that's not how it works. I said, you already have, an idea of what you want to pay for this house. Call me back. No, and he said right out, he goes, this is a Google phone number, and it'll get like nabbed as spam. And all of a sudden I said, no. So why don't you call me back in 2 hours? So I think this guy thought the jig was up.
Yeah.
And I was trying to whatever, never call back.
Yeah.
So he wasn't serious.
No.
So did that sound like something?
Definitely. That's definitely a potential. Best case scenario, it's a scam.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, it's going to be someone sucking you in to take you.
Yeah.
And then like Kathy had an experience, which could have been a chance where that could have happened, where She was doing her crime scene cleaning business, and she got called to one address in Rhode Island. It was a trucking company, and they're like, "Oh, we had a guy have an accident in the back of a truck."
Okay.
And so she went there, and I was working, and her brother couldn't go. Normally, we would go with her armed or something, just in case or something. And she goes there. There's nobody there. And she calls the number back. They're like, "Oh, yeah, no, we were busy. So just go into the back of the truck."
Yeah.
And start cleaning. She looks and
no.
Yeah, you can't see the front of the truck, but now you're getting to the back of the truck. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It ain't worth the money. Get the hell out of there. Yeah. It's just.
There probably was no money.
No. Well, no one's there to pay you. You're going to do the job.
It's like you're going to get in the truck, they're going to close it, and they're going to take off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it's potential or not, I guess what part of the class was don't put yourself in the situation where you could have that happen.
Yeah.
And we were talking about social media and how people will post private information. One of the ways they track you is they'll see young people, male, and we keep saying females, but males too.
Yeah.
Which are not really statistically correct on how many are actually trafficked, because males aren't going to come forward and say I've been raped or trafficked or something, because masculinity set in. But you put your my life sucks, or I wish this, I wish that. They're keeping track of all that. They're going through and they're finding people posting stuff like that, and that shows.
So they're doing their homework and they're keeping stats on you to see if you're a viable candidate.
Yeah.
To be trafficked.
They're very experienced and they know what they're doing. And then you'll get a message. Oh, I like your profile. I see that you're like lonely. I'll be your friend. And then boom, it's like fishing. They suck you in, and one day you'll meet up with them, and that's it. And it happens all the time.
So that's a lot of information, so far about human trafficking. And, I never would have thought about it. Even that whole cat scenario, I was like, I just thought this guy was like maybe a pedophile or something like that.
That's another form.
I mean,
of
it could have been, but it just was not on the up and up. You could just tell it was not.
Yeah.
So Shayna, thank you for the compliment, but I think any dad would do that. I think any dad would do that, for the kid. So, you got to, because.
Luckily you had a relationship where the child can come and talk to you and tell you something.
Yeah, but she didn't tell me. They
didn't realize it, but they knew. A lot of these kids are sucked in because they don't have that communication where she came to you about just a cat.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids today, they'll just go and buy the cat.
Yeah.
And without talking to you about it. And then boom, where'd they go?
Yeah. And to a kid, I mean, really any person, but somebody that may be naive, $350 for a cat. And all of a sudden, I'm going to sell it to you for $100.
Yeah.
Isn't that a great deal? Meow, meow.
And that's one of the big things we put in the class yesterday. If it's too good to be true,
probably is.
It is. Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk more about this serious subject of human trafficking. And what do you think is the next subject we should get into as far as human trafficking is concerned?
Labor. Labor trafficking.
Labor trafficking. Okay. We'll get back to that, and we'll be back in a minute right here on SNSN.
Hi, my name is Dr. Katina Simmons. I'm the optometrist and the new owner of Grizzled Eye Care, formerly the office of Dr. Joel Zuckerbrand. I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Grizzled Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons, at the all-new Grizzled Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand's. Hope to see you soon.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
There are two types of traffic control devices that require drivers to come to a complete stop before proceeding forward: red lights and stop signs. According to statistics published by the National Highways Traffic Safety Administration, an average of 2 people die each day in the United States in automobile collisions caused by someone running a red light, and over 120,000 are injured. 45% of all crashes occur at intersections where someone often has a stop sign or red light and fails to stop and or yield the right of way after stopping. When the driver fails to stop for a traffic control device, the results can be deadly, particularly if they are rushing to beat a yellow light. Failing to stop constitutes negligence on the part of the vehicle operator. The following has been brought to you by Griswold Health and Safety.
Your community radio.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning, and 80s all day and night.
SNSN, your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning, and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
It'll freaking kill you.
A lot of his Paul's PSAs are fun. So if you are watching on Facebook or on some form of social media, we welcome you here. But also we have an app. If you didn't know, called SNSN Radio. Mm-hmm. You can go to your app store, whether it's Google Play or of course iTunes, and you can get the app. It's absolutely free. And instead of you can hear it. So like if you want to listen to the content, like when you're driving to work or somewhere in the morning, you can Bluetooth it right to your radio or hook it up somehow. Some have those iPhone connectors.
Yeah, I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah. Bottom line is you can hook it up to. I went to Walmart and I got one of these little, I don't know, for the lack of a better term, a dongle. Just plugs into my accessory outlet. Oh, because you can't say cigarette lighter adapter anymore.
Oh yes.
Or CLA. Can't do that. Canceled. So, and what it has is, you can plug your phone into it to charge it if you want to, but it's also Bluetooth. Mm-hmm. So it'll Bluetooth it to your radio on a certain, like mine's like 87.9. Oh, so I can listen to this station in my car anywhere in the world.
Wow.
As long as I have, internet capabilities, on my phone. And it's very, very easy to do. So that way, you can, if you want to, you can take us with you in the car or wherever just by getting our app.
That's cool.
Which is absolutely free. So a little
sweet
there.
No, I have it. It's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
I have it. It's pretty cool.
If you have any, if you like 80s content and that kind of stuff, we have all our stuff is all 80s content here at SNSN Radio. If it's not sports,
you do sports on there too, though. Broadcasting,
yeah. So like we got a game tonight. It's a night game at Dodd Stadium.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Grizzled against NFA. So hopefully, it's supposed to rain. We're getting weather that's coming in. Tell. So yeah, now it's nice.
That's what nice I say. You never know what's going to happen.
Right. It's nice right now. So, but that game is tonight, and we hope to have that. As long as they're being played, we'll be at Dodd Stadium, and
that's cool.
And taking care of that. So
fun.
Yeah,
kids will love it.
Be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see them playing. Now, as far as the Grizzled High School baseball team is concerned, they needed to win. I think it was 3 out of their last 4 games if they even had a chance of making state playoffs.
Really?
Well, guess what? They've won 2 in a row.
Oh,
they have won 2 in a row. They beat Wyndham. They beat Stonington 6-5. Now, if they can beat NFA, they're probably going to be in the States.
Oh, sweet.
And it seems like right now everything is just starting to click for the Wolverine boys.
Playing a little while together, and now they're starting to.
Yeah, and I hope they do, because you know what? If they're playing this well, because they got a lot of talent on this team. If they're playing this well and they go in with an 8-12 record, they're going to get like a really, really low seed, and they could be dangerous. They could be dangerous. So, well, let's see what happens. Yeah. It could be an exciting run, in the States. So let's let's keep it together tonight, and hopefully they beat NFA, and that should put them in the States with 8 wins. So anyway,
do it.
Another thing, we have a store on both on snsnonline.com as well as Etsy. It's all, all we love the 80s stuff. If you want to go ahead, and we would appreciate if you wanted to support the station, to grab yourself a t-shirt, some 80s gear. If you're an 80s fan, it's a blast.
Do you have the hair?
No, we don't have props. But you know what? Because you know what, people are just they're gonna get that off of Oriental Trader, and pay $3 for it. So, yeah. So we have a lot of content for 80s stuff as well as Griswold merchandise. Did you know Jewett City was the vampire capital of the world? Not many people know that. Well, we have a t-shirt that says we are the vampire capital of the world. See, nobody knows.
Should do an SNSN vampire house.
What's funny is that we really tried to do something a couple of years ago as far as vampires are concerned, because, all right, so Salem, Mass, right? Not a big town, but it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Witches. People come from all over the place to check out the witches of Salem.
Yeah.
What do you think we have here? Vampires and different things like, Maud's grave. These are really cool things that people would travel for. Do you imagine? I mean, we could have quite a bit of a little bit of tourism.
Yeah.
A
little bit.
It'd be like a trail, stop at Griswold, see the vampires, go up to Salem and see the witches, So let's see here. Just I want to give you an idea of some of the stuff that we have on. What do I don't want to do it like this. All right, bear with me here, kids. Then we'll get back into the human trafficking. Dave says, I thought a town in Rhode Island claimed to be the vampire capital. Lies! All lies! Yep. Yeah, there. Look up on YouTube, Jewett City Vampires. It doesn't say anything about Rhode Island. It says Jewett City.
That's the only Jewish city in the whole world, right?
Funny that you say that. So I'm going to bring something up here just to give because somebody says, why don't you promote your own stuff? And I'm like, what? I guess I never really thought about it. So, all right. So here is our shop right here on snsnonline.com. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through. So just give you an idea of what kind of stuff. Oops, I don't want to do that. There we go. That is on there. And it's not expensive. So there's some Christmas ornaments. There's a shirt right there, which has actually been very popular. Zuckerbrand's department store commemorative shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you can get that. That one's, we sold a bunch of those. And we just sold, like, one guy bought 2 on Saturday, and one's going to California.
No kidding.
To a relative.
Oh, that's cool.
Griswold Wolverine mugs with the brand new logo and text and everything. Look at that. Griswold Wolverine socks, some 80s stuff, some hoodies, different type of stuff that you can't get, in a lot of different places. All right, here's some 80s stuff right here. We add more all the time. Here's a sign that you can get, Griswold Wolverines, and you can actually customize it. So this hat right here, I think, is really, really sharp. It's just a white hat with the Wolverine paw print.
Nice.
Right on it. So then there's a white t-shirt that says, I'll pay you back. There's a couple things. I want to get to the vampire stuff because I just think it's cool.
I thought you had vampire stuff on there, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Look, we got the Al Mr. Jewett City Gear commemorative t-shirt.
Does that have his picture on the front? I
Yeah,
can't see it.
you bet. That's Al. I just wanted to give him a T-shirt. You know, we haven't sold any, but you know, it's. Let's see, hoodies. Just an '80s guy. It's just a bunch of stuff. Oh, hold on, I want to get to the darn vampires. All right. Here we go. So, like, there's one there, Vampire Capital of New England. Then there's Jewett City Vampires Capital. You can see the second one. There's a third one in here. I particularly like the hoodies that you see right there. America's only Jewett City.
Yep.
You know, and it's true. It's actually, I think, the world's only Jewett City.
Yes, I never heard of any other Jewett City.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can get that in a T-shirt or a hoodie. And which I created that one. And then there was another one that says, it takes a village, boom, boom, crossed out, and it says borough, because we are in the borough of Jewett City. So there's that. You can get a T-shirt, hoodie, T-shirt, whatever. But here, this is my favorite one right here. My favorite vampire shirt right there. Vampire Capital of New England, Jewett City, Connecticut. Sometimes we bite, sometimes we suck.
That's a good one.
Because that's what happens with vampires, right?
Yep.
So anyway, snsnonline.com. Just go there, and we can have it shipped to you if you'd like, or you can just pick it up. But make sure, if you're going to pick it up locally, make sure you go ahead and click local pickup. So that way you don't have to pay shipping.
There you go.
Just pick it up here.
Yep.
I don't care about Exeter, Rhode Island. They suck. We are Jewett City. We are the vampire capital of the world. Jesus, Dave, we're trying to promote Jewett City and you're slugging things out there for Rhode Island. That's criminal. Jesse says, what a beautiful shop.
There you
go. Not like he didn't have anything to do with it. So Dave goes, fake news. David's always shooting everything down, says Jesse. Yeah, Jesse, I'm telling you. So, all right. So let's get back into human trafficking and what we were talking about. So you had said the labor trafficking is a thing. So give me an idea, or give us an idea of what labor trafficking is to begin with.
Well, it's different ways that you get sucked into it, like the sex trafficking. But it's a very popular one, or people coming over the borders, jumping the fence, all that kind of stuff. And then, the coyotes are paying or being paid so they can get them in the country easily. But then they have to pay off their travel fare. And they're put into shops, and the money they make, it goes right to the coyotes, the traffickers.
Okay, that's
one form.
Coyotes, is that a name for a trafficker? Is it
the ones that transport them into the country, and then they're transferred over to someone that has the shop.
Yeah.
So a lot of times shops will pay the traffickers, the coyotes, to get them in, and then
I only asked that because I didn't know if anybody really knew what the term was. I didn't know what the term was.
Yep, you didn't know coyote was?
No.
Okay.
I know the movie Coyote Ugly.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with this. So.
No. But the money that they're paid is given back to the people that own the shop and the trafficking and everything else. So they'll only make a very tiny bit of money from the money that's actually collected as a fare for the wages for. A lot of them are put into like farms. We have a lot of farms in New England. So they'll put little homes, trailers for these people to live in, and the conditions are disgusting.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, and they've actually had big egg farms all over the United States that were busted for this. And they actually found people living underneath the trailers on the ground. And they had people die from being kids and everything from living in those conditions.
So what is it? People are just brainwashed. I mean,
which way?
Well,
you mean the people being trafficked?
The people that are being trafficked.
They have no way of getting out. So imagine that you're one of these people that are either being sex trafficked or labor trafficked, Like, for instance, sex trafficking was a heavy subject yesterday. We went and delved a little bit on labor trafficking, but imagine you're one of these people that are, for lack of a better term, being prostituted. Okay, who are you going to go tell? Because what's the normal? What was the tradition back then? You were going to the police and complaining that, hey, I'm being prostituted.
Yeah,
you're basically giving your own confession up. They're afraid of. So they created laws in Connecticut internationally that will protect those that are being trafficked from being prosecuted. So now they're treated as victims
from sex crimes.
Right. Okay. So now they're being treated as victims and not necessarily criminals. So that's one way they're fighting it back.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, like if you're working on these farms or whatever, and you're living underneath the trailers, what's stopping you from just saying, nah, screw this, I'm out?
They have no way. Well, they also threaten your families. So you leave, you still owe us money. Now we're going to go kill your family.
And that money never gets paid off.
No, if ever. Yeah. Normally you probably die before that happens. Because you try and run, we kill your friend, we kill your family. So they're going to protect their family and their friends. And so it's just a way of keeping them there.
Tim says the Board of Education should incorporate human trafficking into their assemblies and or course curriculum. How do you feel about that?
It's interesting. You brought that up.
Okay.
We had people in the class yesterday pushing and saying that same point. The staff, I know, is required by law to be trained in it. However, what about the kids? So we told them in the class yesterday, and the Health and Safety Committee is actually one of the subjects tonight. I think that's going to be added to the agenda, is to talk about that, writing a letter to the Board of Ed and having them push to have that education put into the.
Gotcha.
We also told the families that were there, you guys need to tell the Board of Ed the same thing. It's only so much coming from the committee. You know how politics are, government, but if the parents start pushing it, that's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I think the bottom line is you have to go to a meeting. You have to go to a meeting. You can't, I mean, all due respect, Tim, they're talking about it on social media is one thing.
Right.
But you got to show up. And I don't mean you specifically, Tim.
That's everybody.
But, if I've got a gripe about something or I have a suggestion, that maybe I feel beneficial, go to a meeting.
Yeah. And I was telling them, the Health and Safety Committee, I'm sure we're more than happy to do that for them. It's not a hardship. It's very easy to do. So
yeah. So
and the kids that were there, yesterday, a couple of them were like, wow, they learned a lot. It was very beneficial to them.
Yeah. Now, I mean, could this be a whole course, like for a whole semester?
No, it's 2 hours.
No. Could it be made into a semester class?
Turn it into a subject to last 4 years. It's always changing too.
Yeah.
So
it's like the history of it and methods of it.
Yeah, it's nothing new. That's a big thing people don't realize. It's nothing new. This has been going on forever.
It's just coming to the forefront of society in the last few years.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's become more of a epidemic, and if you will, because the access to those kids are a lot easier through social media. I mean, the kidnappings, that's been going on forever. It's nothing new. But the access that kids have, or they have the kids now, has grown so much that it's becoming a bigger problem.
Yeah. Laura says some people get into desperate situations and feel like they have no way out.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And especially if you get them hooked on drugs.
Yeah.
That's an even bigger problem. So
Victoria says if you send a letter, make sure to state that you want it read into the record. Otherwise, it's just correspondence.
Exactly. Yep.
New
business type of.
Yeah. Well, you can send a letter, to any meeting or to any board that you want to. And if it's not said that because they want you to read it out loud, if you don't state that, it'll just, like Victoria said, it'll just okay, file it.
Yeah. Go with the rest of the stuff. Circle file.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good point, Victoria.
Yeah,
but I still think that the best method is always to go to a meeting.
Well, I think it's got a lot more effect. and if you do it in a way that's respectable, so you get your ears a lot better too. You have people come sometimes and they just rant, and everyone's just like, oh, whatever.
Well, this is why you have a certain period of time. At a board meeting.
Yeah, but I mean, do it in a way that's respectable and makes sense. They're going to listen.
Right. So go to a meeting and just and I would approach it in something that's like, I think this would benefit our kids, and it's because a lot of people, I feel, go to board meetings angry.
That's what I'm saying. I think you get a better audience if you do it in a respectable, not an angry way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I thought we put it out to the Board of Ed already the first time, but I didn't handle the marketing aspect, so I don't. But I thought they were notified of it or given flyers to hand out. But
I'm sure they saw it. Yeah. It was everywhere.
Well, I know they saw it.
Yeah.
You had to have seen it. If you didn't see it, you weren't looking at stuff. It was. But I think bringing it to the school, like you said, for a 2-hour presentation, even an hour probably for kids. They probably lose them in. But the kids yesterday, the 2 hours, they were actually participating. They were interested in it. So,
what about if we did one here and streamed it?
We could try it. Yeah, I think we do need to do another one.
Yeah.
Now that the word's out, I figured you do one, do another, every once in a while do one, and I think the word will get out to how important it is, because based on the information that was presented the first time. I think even the kids, like I said, even Jim Barney, he was even told the kids, I'm impressed you're here participating, giving information, because even some of the information they gave added on top, because obviously they know a lot more than we think they do. So they even gave some information. They asked questions, and some of them even recognized instances that some friends are in that gave them some flags. So that's...
So we've talked about sex trafficking, labor trafficking. What else is there to look at? As far
ways
as
to protect the kids.
Okay,
that was one of the big subjects in the class. Protecting them. How do you keep an eye on them, especially today? We told them, well, number one is communication. Force them to communicate. They're in situations that we don't know about all the time, and if you force them to sit in a car and talk to you. If you notice behavioral changes, if you notice boys especially, when they start to act out, that's a form of they're going through something that they don't know how, they're afraid to tell you. So lock them in your car, go for a long drive, stop and get some coffee. Tell you're not getting out of the car till you tell me what's wrong. Another thing is...
But then again, you can get a child that will shut down even more.
What's that?
In that respect,
we tell them travel to Maine.
Huh?
Travel to Maine. Whatever. You got to get that information out of them.
Yeah.
Because that's how
it could save their life.
It very seriously could save their life.
Yeah.
And another one was monitor the internet. Monitor what they're looking at. Monitor their social media. When the kids were younger, we used to tell them, give me your phone. Unlock your phone right now. Give it to me. And we'd scroll through their social media. So they didn't have a chance to delete stuff. So, my son told me once, well, that's my privacy. He got the very good lecture on, you'll have no privacy. Yeah. You're a kid.
Yeah, but not only that, but if you have a phone, you're not private anyway.
Right. And that was another thing we brought up yesterday. Like you just said, everything you put on social media, you don't realize is open to the whole world. You think, oh, just my friends are looking at it.
Yeah.
No. Guess what? So it's very serious, and you have to. And we told them, we know it's not easy.
And traffickers are watching this
every single minute.
Yeah.
They had groups just sitting there scrolling through. They're looking for every day. They're shopping for people to solicit and exploit. It's kind of scary to think about it.
And as a person, you got to be to do that kind of stuff.
Well, I can't. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine being someone like that. But it's out there. Kathy, when she was going to a boat, she had a boat, and they used to go up to the lake in New Hampshire and people that owned the place now were both arrested for trafficking.
Wow.
And
it's usually people that are maybe big in the community.
Yeah.
And
no one knew it.
Great guys and girls. And
everybody thought they were.
Oh, look at that. Here we go.
And everybody thought they were great for having the kids take part in everything. They were active and the kids were helping run the place. And guess what? And it goes to the same thing. One, trust, but confirm. And if it's too good to be true, it is.
Pretty much is.
It's, it's not a happy subject, but it's reality, unfortunately.
What is something else like human trafficking that, you think that maybe needs to have more visibility in society?
It's a tough one.
Like drugs?
Yeah, I mean,
do they use drugs a lot?
Drugs seems to circle everything. You look at it and a lot of stuff, it seems to circle everything.
Yeah.
Drugs is a big one. I think a lot of the programs have gone to the wayside that kids are exposed to because we're afraid of exposing them to stuff now.
Right.
But guess what? They're already exposed. We're taking away the shields.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I think a big one is social media awareness. I think that's probably I think, social media is great in some aspects, but I think like anything else, you have to be careful. And social media is it's adding to stress for a lot of people, for kids especially. I think there's an addiction to it now where, look at a lot of employers. They're saying they've lost a lot of over 25, almost 50% in some aspects of productivity because of social media. I think it's added a lot of dangers. We were talking about the trafficking. And I think mental health is probably another big one. Mental health in this country has gone to the crapper in every age group. I think that's probably a big one. And I can probably go on with it.
What about, and I think this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day, distracted driving.
Yeah. And I think the funny thing is, you look at everything we just mentioned, and they all seem to overlap. So I think that's, and I think mental health, social media, drugs, they're all intertwined in one way or another, and that's some aspect. So,
well, very interesting conversation this morning. If you have missed any of it and want to, go back, I mean, as soon as we're done, this will get posted, and you can rewind, fast forward, whatever, and you can pick pieces out that you like and you think that maybe are informative and would, help, and make a difference. Oh, Al,
you're sweating off your lip.
Yeah. So public health and safety here in Griswold. I mean, they've had the first aid / CPR class, and now human trafficking. You said that you feel that human trafficking should that be a recurring class, or?
Yeah, I think we'll do it every once in a while.
Okay.
What other? They talk about it tonight. The meeting. I can't be there so far, but
yeah.
They're going to talk about it tonight, so you can bring it up to do it on a regular basis if you want. I don't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I will be at Dodd Stadium.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Unless it rains. You
never know.
So.
But I know we did talk about that. Paul and Jim were there.
Yep.
Tina.
Yep.
So that's half the committee right there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yep, that is awesome. So I mean, it's good. It's good stuff. It's good information. Do you find people don't go to the meetings, or maybe don't want to be bothered with it because they think it's just more propaganda and they don't have time for it?
All the above.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's one, they can't be bothered. Don't want to talk about it. Didn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. It's like Facebook. If if it didn't come up in your news feed, didn't happen.
Yep.
God forbid you actually go to a website.
I think some of the Well, I know it's a tough time of year too. The age group that has to be worried about it, they have a lot of stuff going on too. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
beaches.
Yeah, beaches. Yeah. Well, funny, half the teenagers that were there came home from the beaches to go to the class. So. But I think a lot of people, I think, they're shut off.
Shut off from society?
That too. I think we don't want to be bothered with anything anymore. That's enough's enough. I think a lot of people are like, we don't watch the news anymore. Why?
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, mental health. Again, I think, I think sports activities. I think it was a good time of the day to do it. I think. If anybody has any other better times, let us know. I mean, but I was kind of surprised and happy with the turnout we had. I didn't think anybody would care, but I think as we keep pushing it out there,
I mean, that must make you feel good as an educator.
Yeah.
To say, all right, you know what? This will make me want to do it again because people are interested.
Yeah, I think people, and then they go talk to somebody else. And I think it's just like branding and everything else, people talk and, I heard that was very informative. So we'll go.
This is legitimately information that could save your life or the life of one of your children or one of your family loved ones.
I told Kathy, even if it helps one person yesterday,
it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's only 2 hours out of your life. What are you going to do in those 2 hours? Sit on your counter and scroll through whatever. So I think, and then some of the girls brought up they're like, whoa, wait a minute. This sounds like what's happening to one of our friend's stepsisters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, it already helped.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You can save one person, or give people an information so they can be more aware of their surroundings and what could happen.
Yep.
So anyway, dude, thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Last minute kind of thing.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it worked out well.
Meant to be.
Yeah. With the class that you gave yesterday, and to kind of caveat that into this morning for a conversation.
Yeah.
So, all right. So if anybody has any questions about human trafficking, you can get a hold of Rich. What's your email, Rich? So
Richard Waslik at outlook.com.
Okay. WASELIK.
Yeah. Common spelling.
Huh?
Common spelling.
Right.
So you can hit me up on Facebook.
Or you can hit him up on Facebook. And if you didn't get that address right now, that email address, just rewind it and play it again. And you can go ahead and do it. All right.
Or you can actually go to Jewett City Fire Department's, Griswold Fire Department's Facebook.
Griswold Health and Safety.
Griswold Health and Safety. The access is on there too.
Griswold Public Health and Safety. That's what it is. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Is it public health and or just health and safety?
I would go with Griswold. No.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Griswold Health and Safety, I think it is, right?
Yeah, but the Facebook page is Griswold Public Health and Safety.
I have to look at what the town official title is, probably. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming on in today. Tomorrow, you come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Look at that. 2 days in a row. All right. Rich will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully tonight we will be able to go ahead and get the game in at Dodge Stadium, Griswold against NFA. Let's hope they win this. I think they can do it. And if they can, they got a good shot at making the States. And talk about doing it in the 11th hour. But it doesn't matter. I said to John Harden yesterday, I said, you know what? If they got it coming together, it doesn't matter if it's early or late. They got it going on.
Yeah, they're learning.
Let's finish strong. And they could be dangerous in the States if they're really starting to just kind of come together now.
It's a young team, right?
Very young.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. The seniors all gone, right?
Two.
Yeah.
The rest of them are junior and a huge freshman class.
Yeah.
So the future of Wolverine baseball looks very good. Looks very, very good. So that'll be on tonight right here on SNSN tonight at 7:00. Also, we would appreciate if you check out our shirt shop on our website. Yeah, we have a website. It's not just Facebook. SNSNonline.com. And there's town stuff there that you might be interested in. There's 80s merchandise. There's Borough of Jewett City stuff. Take a look, see what you think. And we hope you would support the station, and get yourself some official merchandise. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.
See ya.
family owned and operated. That's something you don't hear too often anymore. Highway Campers of Plainfield is now 3 generations in and going strong. If you're looking to upgrade or get your first RV, contact the family that knows RVs, Highway Campers. They'll walk you through the process of finding the right RV for you and can even finance it for you. Visit www.highwaycampers.com and find your home on wheels. After all, home is where you park it. Highway Campers is a proud supporter of Griswold Youth Football.
Did you know that Allstate